It was past midnight, and the rain had turned the city into a blur of lights and reflections. I had just finished covering a tragic eviction story, my head heavy with thoughts, when I stepped into the first taxi I saw. An old yellow sedan, clean but worn, the kind you forget the moment you step out of. The driver didn't say much, just nodded when I gave my address, and pulled into the street with a calm that stood out in a city that never stops rushing. I wasn't in the mood for small talk, but something about the man, the way he adjusted the rearview mirror to look at my tired face, felt oddly personal. Then, as we passed a dimly lit gas station, he slowed down and waved at a man huddled by the entrance. I watched in confusion as the driver reached into a small cooler beside him and handed the man a sandwich and a bottle of water through the window. He didn't speak, didn't wait for thanks, just nodded again, like it was the most normal thing in the world. I couldn't help myself. I asked him why he did that. His eyes stayed on the road, but he said softly, "Because some people ride with empty pockets and heavier hearts." That sentence stayed with me, and I asked if he saw a lot of those people. "Every night," he said. "Some can't pay, some just need to talk, some haven't eaten. I do what I can." I leaned forward, suddenly more awake than I'd been all day. I told him I was a journalist, and he shook his head slowly, like that wasn't something he wanted to be part of. "This isn't a story," he said. "It's just something I do." But I couldn't let it go. I asked questions, gently, over the next 20 minutes, as we wound through dark streets and neon corners. I learned that every night after his day shift, he drove from midnight to 4 a.m., not for money, but to find the ones the city forgot. A woman escaping a bad relationship, a teenager kicked out after coming out to his parents, a man who lost his job and hadn't told his wife, people who didn't look like stories, just quiet passengers with trembling hands and broken eyes. "Sometimes they just need to know someone sees them," he said. He never asked questions unless they spoke first. He never judged. He kept snacks in the glove compartment, blankets in the trunk. He had memorized shelters' addresses, which ones stayed open late, which ones gave food without ID. "You learn what helps and what hurts," he said. He spoke gently, like every word cost him something. When I asked if he ever felt used or tired or angry, he smiled faintly and said, "I don't do it for them. I do it for the version of me who needed a ride once and had no one." He dropped me off and refused my fare. I asked again if I could write about him, tell people what he was doing. He paused, looked at me in the mirror.